from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
What is going on out there, UFC and MMA fans? This is the From a Fan's Perspective podcast where we talk everything MMA news and UFC related. I'm your boy JB. I'm here with my co-host.
Your boy Mr. What's good?
And behind the camera we got our boy Chris.
Yo.
So this week in UFC news, we're gonna kind of rewind a little bit and go back to the recap of the fights last week, which was a fight night card. I don't know which one, but it was a fight night card.
I think it was 36.
So where do you want to jump into? Which fight do you want to jump into first from that fight?
On the undercard, we had Jack Shore versus Ludwig, and Jack Shore is one of the top prospects in the 145 division. And actually, no, that was 135, my bad. The 135 division. And I just wanted to ask you what you thought of his performance and who were your top prospects? A couple.
I liked his performance. I think that he was a heavy favorite coming in, so it was clearly a fight that kind of like suited him.
I think he was the biggest favorite on the card, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like minus 500
yeah, that's
or something.
Crazy.
I guess it came out that I think he broke his hand in the first round and a few other injuries that he's got to go get MRIs on to find out if he needs surgery or not.
Yeah, I heard something about his shoulder too. Because he had an arm triangle and then he let it go. And I had money for him to finish the fight by submission, and he let it go, and I was heated. I was about to go. I was ready to go in there and wrestle myself.
That's just like, what was it, the fight where you had it by knockout and it was like right at the end of the fight?
that was he's about to fight again. The Australian dude, what's his name? Man, I'm trying to. That was that Australian. He's from City Kickboxing. Man, what is his name? I'm gonna think of it later. We're gonna get back to that. I'm gonna think of it later. It's gonna pop up when we're talking.
Yeah, I think that fight by submission was a safe bet, but unfortunately, like you said, he had shoulder problems, and I'm high on Jake Shore. I like him. I don't give him as like the top prospect because there's so many different fighters in that division that I want to see him go against, like different styles.
Who do you think do you think he should fight somebody ranked next?
No, I wouldn't give him nobody ranked. I still want to see more from him. Like I said, I wasn't one. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I was one of the guys. I haven't seen much from him. I heard a lot about Jack Shore coming over from UK, right?
Yeah, he's from Wales.
From Wales, yeah. What does he call himself? The
Tank?
Prince of Wales, or no? I think he calls himself something else with Wales. But anyways,
I don't know.
yeah. So like, I knew he was undefeated coming in, and he's a young guy. So I want to see him against some more prospects. I wouldn't throw him a top guy yet or anything.
The only thing I really
But I liked his performance. I mean, even with all the injuries, he had to kind of play it a little safe. It got a little sketchy in there a little bit at times, but it was a clear win.
Bisping was comparing him to GSP and whatnot.
I wouldn't do all that.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't. To me, Ludwig, the guy that he fought, lost on the Ultimate Fighter. Mm-hmm. So that guy came from the Ultimate Fighter off a loss, got it into the UFC somehow, and then he lets him hang around. Those guys, you can't let these guys linger like that. You gotta get them out of there for real.
Yeah.
Because like those top guys, if you let them stick around like that, they're gonna knock you out. You're gonna get put down.
Not to make excuses, but we don't know how like the injuries and things like that.
No, that's true, but there was times in that fight where he could have finished him.
Yeah.
And like even on the feet, he had him rocked a couple times, and he just didn't.
Those are
jump
fights that you gotta finish.
Yeah, you have to take that.
Capitalize on. As far as top prospects right now, I think there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's I know there's a lot that I probably don't know about like off the top of my head, like by name.
Yeah.
But Tom Aspinall, of course he just fought on this card as well. He's been one of my top prospects because the heavyweight division, unlike the other divisions, isn't as stacked in my opinion. There's a lot of guys who fight kind of the same at heavyweight, and I think Aspinall brings other attributes to the fight game at heavyweight that a lot of guys haven't seen. So I think he'll jump the ranks pretty quick and make his name household up there.
Yeah, and even though he says he don't want to, I think it's inevitable. I mean, that it's just gonna happen just because of how shallow that division is, and the way he's finishing people. I mean, the knees up the middle that he throws are just pretty, man. Like it's just clean, and it's always right on the money. So it's like
Well, okay.
Finishing guys like
he's not
this.
my. Let me, because I gotta go with my boy, man.
Tom Aspinall isn't your top prospect.
It's like one in him and I can't pronounce his name. You know who I'm talking about though.
What division? Shavkat Rakhmonov. Yeah, Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Those two guys right now, but I got to see more from, you know.
There was one guy I thought was gonna be a top prospect, but he just got choked out by Gerald Mearshart, Mahmoud Murad.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And the crazy part, before that fight, the reason that I picked it, because I had never seen that guy fight. I'm not gonna lie. But he was undefeated. He was, wrecking people.
And he has a name you can't pronounce.
Exactly. You can't pronounce his name, but Mearshart's pretty hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather said that Mahmoud Muradov is his favorite fighter.
Well, he fights for Floyd.
I didn't know
he's
that.
on the money team.
I didn't know that.
He's a TMT fighter.
Okay.
I think he was winning. I think he's the better fighter in my opinion.
Definitely. Yeah.
He gassed out. I think he.
Yep.
For some reason, I don't know if he thought he was gonna get him out of there pretty quick because it seemed that way. He came out. You know, that fight, he came out sharp. He was quick, and he was looking to knock him out. I thought
he almost did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he thought that he was going to get him out of here pretty early, so I don't know if his conditioning was top level.
That chin just didn't hold up, too. That was part of it.
Yeah, in my opinion,
like I said, all those guys at that level, you let them hang around, and they gonna test that chin.
Yeah.
So
especially guys who've been in there with some top guys, some veteran guys that you can't let veterans stick around because they know how to get the wins.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
They're veterans for a reason. They might not have the skill, but they either got the toughness or the endurance
or the savviness.
Yeah.
But that's old news. Let's get into what was the fight we just talked about with Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah.
Paddy Pimblett, his defense is trash, man. Like that's just it. It's trash. His chin was up in the air. He was throwing wild punches, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's one guy that you could possibly make a star, but it's gonna take a while because at that weight class at 155, those guys are not playing. They're gonna rock him. They're gonna beat him up. That he got rocked by Luigi, and Luigi, who's Luigi in that division? I mean, who was that? Who was he in that division? Like,
true.
You got rocked by that guy. No, he didn't get finished. Yeah, he came back from adversity or battled through adversity. Whatever the case is, you can make a strong point for him being a star, but you can't be getting your chin tested like that at that low of a level. But he won, and it was his octagon debut. So
I think he. If I had to give a grade on his performance, I would give it an A- because, yes, his defense wasn't that good, but with all the hype and the way he fights and the pressure to perform, I mean, his adrenaline rushing, he looked like he wanted to go out there and he wanted to highlight knockout the whole fight.
He put all that pressure on himself.
But I mean, he puts the pressure on himself, but if you don't have the skills, that pressure never comes either.
That's true.
So I think him knowing that he has to go out there, he's got that Sean O'Malley effect, you know?
Yep.
He's got to go out there and get a highlight knockout, which he can do, and at times other traits that you should kind of be aware of kind of get left behind, because to get that highlight, sometimes you have to have your head up high, you have to have your hands down, you know, you have to throw feints, and you got to look flashy in there, you know, sometimes. But if that's how he's going to continue to fight at 155, that's very dangerous. Not even cracking the top 10. There's guys outside the top 10 that will crack that chin.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. I like him though, man. I salute him that was a sweet knockout that he had. And his hands are very quick, so guys got to be careful with that.
And he's a big 55
too. Because you can go in there with your chin tucked and your guard high. That guy can fight, man. And you give him a chance, he'll open you up pretty quick and put you to sleep. So.
Yep.
What you got next on that card?
Well, we already talked a little bit about Tom Aspinall. So in the main the main event we had Derek Brunson versus Darren Till, and
before that I want to get into those oblique kicks with Khalil Roundtree.
All right, well we could talk about that. What do you think about it?
So, for everybody that's seen it, Khalil Roundtree, what's the guy's name that he fought?
Modestas Bukauskas.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna be able to say it. But he threw, and that's something that Khalil Roundtree throws. I've seen that before from him. So people are kind of surprised.
Right.
You shouldn't be surprised. He's a Muay Thai guy. he's gonna throw those, and he's thrown them in the past, and it doesn't. It's rare that you catch the guy at the perfect time with all that pressure on their lead foot to really get that snap. But it's something that we've seen from John. I think that's how John Thiago Santos. I think that's how he tore his knee in that fight, is with those like front kicks. It wasn't really a side step oblique kick like that, but it was John throws it kind of more with a front kick.
Yeah.
But me personally, I think it should be illegal if you're directly like aiming at that point with that type of strike. I look at it kind of like an eye poke, like in a way, because you can punch the eye, but you're not supposed to poke the eye. So I look at the knee as in like you shouldn't directly hit the joint like that, but you should be able to throw side kicks and inside leg kicks and things like that, but you shouldn't directly be able to pinpoint that joint, because you can really mess a guy's career up. Like, we have no clue what's going to happen to him after that. He might not never walk the same after something like that. That was pretty nasty. Like I said, it's rare that it happens like that, because, you know, guys don't really put that much pressure. And he threw it before, and he kind of, the other guy, I don't want to keep saying the other guy. Modestus kind of seen it coming for whatever, and kind of said like how most guys, he kind of sidestepped and he got away from it. And then Khalil Roundtree timed it, and I think Khalil's getting really good at that. He's timing guys, but I don't think you should keep that at the thigh, or maybe like lower. You shouldn't be able to directly aim at the joint like
so
that.
It's upper mid thigh. So like when they that perfect oblique kick is supposed to land on the like upper mid thigh, not exactly on the knee.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what hyperextends everything.
Right.
But
that's what I mean. I think it should be, if you hit the joint directly, I think that should be looked at as illegal.
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum on this one. So for me, it's the slippery slope. If you ban that, you got to start banning arm bars, right? Because arm bars are the same thing. But it's just with your elbow.
But
you can end somebody's career.
But that's not a submission though. You can tap to an arm bar before it breaks.
But still, it can tap to that before it breaks. You can break it though.
But as you're if it breaks, most of the time it's on you for not tapping.
Yeah, but still,
that oblique play, there's nothing you can do about it. It's gone. Like,
there's so many moves that you can do that can end somebody's career or hurt them very, very badly to where they're not the same.
Well, name another one that's like the oblique kick that you can end somebody's career with.
Most of them are submissions. But
that's what I'm saying. You're able to tap to submissions.
You can kick somebody in the head and knock them out. Yeah, they're gonna wake up later, but they won't be the same. Their brain just got rattled. The same way you're not able to kick a fighter who's down on their hands and knees. I don't think removing that type of kick or penalizing that type of kick, that if you hit the joint, just like if you hit somebody in the nuts or poke them in the eye, I think that should be a warning and then a point taken away, because it's just such a serious injury. The same way, like I said, if somebody's hands and knees are on the ground, they're not allowed to kick them, because you can risk a lot of injury like that. It's a slippery slope, man. If you ban that, you got to start banning other moves that people complain about.
That's what.
If anything, people need to start figuring out how to defend it,
because they've banned a lot of things.
But the thing is, look, how many times do you see that kick thrown and people not actually get that hurt from it? Most of the time,
I think you should be able to throw that.
That people got
I think you should be able to throw that kick. I'm talking about if you're directly trying to hit the front of the joint.
That's what you're doing when you throw that kick.
No, you're hitting mid thigh.
When you throw that kick, your intentions are to do that, right? To hit him in that spot. So it's like
I think it should be illegal.
It doesn't make sense.
I think there's nothing else that I can think of that should be more like. The next thing that's
are with you on it.
When you say slippery slope, there's nothing else I look at as far as fighting that should be illegal, except, and it kind of sucks because I do this when we spar, and my favorite fighter is the king of this, and that's the open hand guard, when you can parry with open hands because of all the eye pokes. That's probably the only thing other than these oblique kicks that I would say maybe on. But this is literally the last thing. I can't think of nothing else that like would make it a slippery slope, because I'm cool with everything else that's.
You're cool with that, but like fighters aren't. Like fighters getting their careers ended with heel hooks and shit like that is different.
Again, another thing is that you have an opportunity most of the time.
You can tap, sometimes it hurts before you tap, especially with those leg locks and stuff like that. Before you don't feel it until
Yeah,
It's
but
too
there's
late.
there's nothing stopping a guy from once a guy wraps up into a heel hook and he gets his leg around. There's nothing stopping you from tapping before it even starts to get cranked, or you start to. Most of the time, those heel hooks break because guys are rolling, trying to push out of it and get the knee out of the.
Most of the time, those heel hooks break because they get locked in and somebody starts cranking on it.
Yeah, but I'm saying before all that happened, guys, as a guy starts to crank, most of the time the guy is trying to escape, and that's where the break happens. It doesn't happen right when a guy gets a heel hook and starts to twist it. It happens when a guy gets it, twists it, and the guy, instead of tapping, he's now trying to use his other foot to get his knee free.
Look at what happened with what's the black dude, Jamal Emmers. It just happened. He was fighting for a little bit, but when he got stuck in that spot, he started to crank on it, and it was too late because you don't feel it until it actually snaps.
There was opportunity before that to tap though,
but it wasn't hurting yet. That's like saying, oh, he might throw a knee, he might throw a
that's on
a
you.
Kick, he might throw an oblique kick. I'm just gonna fake knocked out.
But what I'm saying is that
you do it. You lose after you felt like you lost.
With heel hooks and things like that, that's the risk you take trying to avoid that submission.
That's the risk you take when you sign the contract.
There's nothing you can do when an oblique kick is thrown to be aware of that and stop it before
when you sign up to fight.
No, but there's nothing. See, with heel hooks, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when guys get into heel hooks, they tap before it breaks. It's very rare that it breaks. When a guy is throwing oblique kicks like that, and if guys start to train that and really, because there's not a lot of guys that really throw that kick like that. When you pinpoint that joint like that, or you try to hit, and you're trying, like Khalil Roundtree said, that's what he wants. That's what he wants ideally to happen. Which is I get it. It's part of the fighting style. I get it. I'm not mad at Khalil Roundtree. I'm just saying that's the last thing I look at as like a guy has no option. It's just gonna happen, and I don't like that. As far as just the last thing, because it can end guys' careers and they don't have the chance to tap to that.
There's so many things that can end guys' careers though. Like I said, it's more often than not it doesn't end people's careers.
Yeah, but that's something that you can't. That's like what's the difference between that and an eye poke though?
The eye poke, it restricts your vision. You have to be able to see.
That restricts your walking.
Yeah, but so does a takedown.
Right, but you understand what I'm saying here as far as the severity. We look at an eye poke as being way more severe than a takedown because it restricts your vision, and like you literally, there's no chance. Like a takedown, you can get back up. Once a guy pokes your vision, you can't just tap yourself on the head and be like, hey, get my vision again. Same thing with the oblique kicks. Once a guy kicks that and it tears the joint, tears your ACL, you can't just tap your thigh and be like, hey, start walking again.
That's the same thing with an armbar.
But I'm saying you can tap to an armbar.
But you can also tap to other things too. You can tap to strikes.
You can't tap to an oblique kick.
You can tap to strikes. GSP's tap to strikes.
No, I'm saying you can't tap to an oblique kick. You can't.
Yeah, but you can prepare. you can prepare for it.
No, you can't.
That's not a good argument. Because that's like
how can you prepare for an oblique kick?
Prepare to defend it. If you see it coming towards you, check it or do something, whatever the defense to that kick is.
So
that's like getting kicked in the head. If you get kicked in the head and you get knocked out,
I'm gonna go back to there's a defense to getting poked in the eye too. Guys would say, oh, you could have slipped. Also, the first thing I was thinking of like this. What I'm saying, when a guy's hand is coming towards you, oh, why can't you just slip that like you would a punch? That's kind of like, yes, you can train for that, but when it happens, the severity of it happening completely ruins the fight, in my opinion. That's just how I am. I just don't like it because it'll ruin fighters. It can happen in a split second. They don't have a chance to surrender before it happens, and I just don't. I think there's other ways to kick a guy to be effective like that without, risking this man's career. I get it. I understand. Like, I do. I get it. I'm on the side of the fighters. Like, I want that guy to be okay, and I want him to, like, he shouldn't have had to deal with that, in my opinion. Like, that's just how I feel about it. He shouldn't have had to deal with that. I still think Khalil Roundtree would have beat him without that oblique kick.
Agree to disagree, man, because I think it should be legal.
I don't think he needed that.
And I also think that soccer kicks should be legal.
All right, Joe Rogan.
I think, for real. I mean, if somebody can kick you while they're laying down, why can't you kick them back?
It's the force. I know when you're on the ground still, there's plenty of up kicks, knockouts, and things like that. it just not only does it. There like this, I think there is a more severe, like the soccer kicks are more severe than a guy up kicking you, even though you can't knock him out.
Of course.
But it just looks too, like it just
barbaric.
doesn't look. Yeah, it just that's the word. It just looks barbaric. Same thing with gloves. I get it. Like guys, how many jiu-jitsu guys would be much better if they fought without gloves? Like how many more wrestlers would be able to maintain their position if we fought without gloves?
Yeah.
You know, I get it. But there's got to be certain rules intact to keep it kind of sane, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
So, agree to disagree, like you said.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think's next for Khalil Roundtree? Where does he go from here? Because that was his first fight.
Yeah. Well, no, he won. Didn't he win his last one?
I thought he was on a losing streak.
Who did he fight last?
Yeah, I think he did. He get knocked out?
You know what? He did. He did get knocked out. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think Khalil Roundtree is like, I wouldn't say a gatekeeper, but he's on that like that same path of a gatekeeper. Like he's not in title contention at all.
I think this fight, the way they were talking, man, this was like a win or you're out type
that's
fight
what it
for
seemed.
him.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like because you never know who's gonna show up with him. He's just one of those guys that it's like, come on, man, like just fight how you know how to fight. And then,
I think in this next year or two,
something.
man, we're gonna see a lot of guys gone. In my opinion, there's a lot of guys hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of guys hanging on by a thread, we had Derek Brunson versus Darren Till as our main event. And those were two guys that, those were two guys that at one point in Derek Brunson's career, I think there was the threat or alert to Brunson that, hey, you got to figure things out because you're becoming a gatekeeper, and then after a gatekeeper, you're gone. And he figured it out. He got on a win streak, 5 straight. And
now he's still a gatekeeper.
Yeah, he's not a gatekeeper anymore.
He's a gatekeeper.
Darren, see, that's the thing. Darren Till hasn't been on a win streak since 2017. So Darren Till
Darren Till was like 17-0 or something like that. Yeah,
something like
and then
that.
he got beat. It's like and now he just hasn't found
for
his
Darren
footing.
Till, that wasn't a gatekeeper fight. I'm gonna give Brunson some credit, man. I was saying you were like one of the top gatekeepers. I don't think you're that gatekeeper anymore. I think you're putting yourself back in title contention. I don't think you're a number 1 contender, but putting yourself in title contention. A fight over Darren Till to me wasn't a big. I had Brunson winning in that fight, and I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
It came out that Darren Till said that he had a torn ACL, I guess, in the fight. Whatever, I think Darren Till still would have lost that fight just because of Brunson's fighting style.
He also said he did no wrestling. He did say he said it was because of the torn ACL, but he said he did no wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you even go into the fight if you didn't prepare for it? Like,
guys need money too. So.
But as we talked about before, he did drop Brunson, and he was hurting him. And with Brunson getting hit like that against Darren Till, Izzy's just gonna light him up. It's gonna be the same exact fight, and then Derek Brunson is gonna be the gatekeeper again.
Well, okay, let's slow down. So I think he's got to fight before he's got to fight Izzy that I don't think he's gonna get through, and I would put him up against. I think we were talking about it before this. Cannonier. I think that's the right fight to make.
Yep.
But before we get to Brunson, I kind of want to talk about Darren Till and. We're starting to see, like we said, guys who are kind of on the verge of, we don't know where their career is going to be. I don't think Darren Till's nowhere close to being cut from the UFC just because he has such a big fan base and UFC really likes him. And Darren Till, I like Darren Till, but he's going to have to figure some things out soon.
Yeah.
You
think he goes back down to 170?
I hope he does. I think 170 is the right weight for him.
He said it's hard to cut, man.
That's on him.
Exactly. That's exactly what I say too.
That's on him.
I'm a unprofessional. I've never gotten paid to compete in anything, and I've never once missed weight. Never. And I'm even right now. I got a popped rib, and I'm still on weight for a jiu-jitsu tournament that I have in 2 weeks. So these guys have no excuses if you ask me.
It just comes down to discipline.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We'll see what's going on with Darren Till after that. Maybe he does go down to 170. I would like to see him and Kevin Holland fight.
At 170?
Yeah, at 170. I think
you
that's
think
a good
Holland's
fight
gonna go down?
He should. I don't know if he will.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
man.
would like, and even if Till didn't go down, I would like to see them fight at 185.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a pretty good fight for both.
A no
of them.
takedown fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good
they
fight.
They both like that. Who you think will win?
Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
I think
so.
he's not a more Darren Till overall. I think is a better striker.
They're basically the same striker, but just Kevin Holland's longer
harder.
and Yep, I agree.
I think he's gonna knock Till out, but I think that would be a great fight for both of them. But as far as Derek Brunson, he's like I said, 5-fight win streak, man. He's not a gatekeeper anymore, man. He retired from being a gatekeeper. I don't think so. I wouldn't give him gatekeeper, just like not where he's at.
What do you consider a gatekeeper though?
He's a guy that's not on his way to title contention. A guy that's not like one fight away from being.
I consider it. I think I've actually talked about this on.
What time are we at, Chris?
25, 26.
Okay. All right.
So I've actually talked about this a little bit on the one of the previous pods, but I think part of being a gatekeeper is somebody who's close to title contention, but basically they're just keeping everybody else away from the title. That's what he's doing. He's just keeping everybody else out of the title picture because he's beating everybody except the champion. Like he's beating all these guys that are up and comers and trying to get to title shots, but he ain't beating the champion and he's never winning the title. He's always lingering. So it's like,
well,
who do you even give him?
I say he's not a gatekeeper because he's kind of like the hype train killer more than a gatekeeper.
Exactly.
That's what I would give him. Because a gatekeeper is somebody that kind of earned their way up to, okay, he might be fighting next for the title if he gets past this guy. The guys he fought, if they beat Brunson, weren't going to be in title contention. And that's what I consider gatekeeper. Guys who keep the guy who's supposed to be like the number one contender next out of that. And the guys he fought were just more of like, if they beat Brunson, okay, we know that they're here and they're going to be in the top 10. But then we got to see them fight a couple more fights before they get to title contention. I think he was more like a hype train killer. And to Brunson's credit, that's a pretty big task because they're like those guys, to always be, the underdog, not even as far as like the bets, but like just as far as like fans looking at it like, oh yeah, this guy's going to knock Brunson, like having to deal with that fight after fight after fight.
Yeah.
People kind of forget how good Brunson is. He's not as bad as people think he is, but I don't think he's as good as his record and what he's doing right now makes him seem, in my opinion. I think what some of these other guys are doing, like in the competition they're fighting, like I'll take Cannonier's record with who he's fought the last 3 years over Brunson and who he's fought any day. And Cannonier has took losses. So, but it's just who he's fought and the style of fight and how he's been hurt. We've seen Brunson hurt time after time in fights and come back and get the win. So, I think he's right there. Like I said, I would put him up against Cannonier. I know Costa's got a fight against Vettori, Luke Rockhold, and Strickland. So, and those guys to me are kind of like right in the bunch. So in these next few months, we'll kind of get some things sorted out, and we'll see it. If Brunson loses to Cannonier, then I think he's a gatekeeper. I think this is his last chance. Yeah, I don't think he gets past Cannonier, but I think this is his last chance. I think if he doesn't, he's been in the UFC I think like 10 years, something like that. So I think this is his last chance, and like I said, there's some guys that, unfortunately, like they're gonna have to figure some things out. And back after that short edit.
Oh no!
So that was a recap of the fights. This weekend we don't have any fights, but we do have some Triller action.
We don't have any MMA fights.
Yeah, we got some action though. We got some Triller action going on.
We got your boy Tweedo versus Anderson the Spider Silva. How do you think that one goes?
I think Anderson Silva knocks him out in the first round. No, okay.
It's a bold statement, Cotton.
Right. No, I don't think he knocks him out in the first round because Anderson's style of fighting is more defense. It's weird because he's like, MMA style, he more went for the kill. But boxing, I don't think he goes for the kill, but you have to really be hurt. I think he's more of a defensive boxer than he was in MMA. I think he's more of a defensive boxer because I don't know if it's because the gloves are a lot bigger, so he's able to use a lot more defensive techniques. But I haven't seen Tito box ever in life. So
yeah, for real.
And even in his fights, man, he was never the striker. So it's like, I don't know if that fight goes well for Tito. I hope they both make a lot of money from the fight. I'm a big Silva fan. And I'm happy to see that Silva's doing what he's doing in boxing, man. And I wish him the best of luck. And Tito, but I think Silva gets the win. I'm going to say, do you know how many rounds? Probably like 8 rounds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Exhibitions don't go past 8.
I have no clue.
But I got Silva by, I think 5th round, he gets him out of there. What you mean?
I don't know, man. I'm honest. I honestly don't know. I think Anderson's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think it is.
Okay.
But
How do you think he wins?
I think a decision.
Decision?
Yeah, I think a decision. Tito ain't no scrub, man. He don't just go out there and get beat up. He tries.
But Tito, I don't think has ever competed against a striker like Anderson Silva.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Yeah. That's a bad man. That Spider is a bad boy.
He's good, man. And then, yeah, man, I honestly don't know how to fight. I don't know how to.
I don't know how to fight.
Yeah, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how that fight goes. That was tough.
We'll find out. That's why they're fighting against each other.
Yep.
What you got next?
How do you think the main event goes though? With Evander, 58 years old, Holyfield.
Holyfield is clearly he's still in shape. There's been a lot of surrounding issues for the past couple years with Holyfield and money issues. Man, he sold his house to Rick Ross.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he sold his house to Rick Ross a couple years ago, and they're saying like he needs the money. I'm sure he still has way more money than us. Yep. But I think if Holyfield is 30% of who Holyfield used to be, I think he knocks him out in the second round.
You think he knocks Vitor Belfort out?
Facts.
TRT Tour.
Yes, I think there's not a steroid, a testosterone booster, PED in the world that if Evander Holyfield is 30% of who he used to be, he knocks him out. I think he'll get a wide awakening of the level of striking in boxing versus MMA.
Well, again, I'm on the opposite side. I think TRT Tour trashes this dude.
He's crazy.
He's old, man. He's just too old.
It doesn't matter.
He hasn't boxed in.
When the last time Victor Belfort boxed?
I'm pretty sure his daughter is like a world champ or something like that. Like
I said, him.
If his daughter can do it, and he trains his daughter, then what do you think he can do?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. My bad. I'm pretty sure he's boxed before.
Okay, you said his daughter. Okay, let's do it. You want to go there? All right. So you say his daughter, which isn't confirmed.
He trains his daughter.
I have terrible.
No, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't.
Let's say she is. Let's say she is.
About her.
Right. You can't tell me. I guarantee you, Evander Holyfield is still brought into the camps of world champion boxers right now for his wisdom, and to light sparring probably.
I don't think.
But for his wisdom, Evander Holyfield at one time was the best fighter on the planet.
Yeah. And so was Vitor.
Okay, let's do it. MMA striking, especially when Belfort was fighting, was what amateurs in boxing would knock the best guy out back then. Within the first couple rounds.
But no. Back then, it was literally only specialists. It was only boxers, only wrestlers, only...
And those specialists in boxing in the MMA would be amateurs in real boxing. That's why they went to MMA.
I don't think so.
That's why... No, I guarantee you, if they could have made it in boxing, they would have made it in boxing. There's more money. It's not a new sport. Why would you not? You would have got paid millions of dollars
because of the popularity that was surrounding the MMA back then. Like, they wanted to get in on that. Yeah. It was a new sport. They're like, okay, well, I can go and do this, so why shouldn't I go and do this? If
you saying that Vitor Belfort had a chance to fight the heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield in 1997 or 1996, and you saying that he decided to go over to the UFC which is a brand new startup company. Guys are still fighting. There's a guy fighting with wrestling shoes on, and one guy fighting with one glove, one 16-ounce glove on his hand. Bro, you are out of your mind. Boxers get paid quadruple gazillion the amount that MMA fighters get paid now. I'm not even talking about back then. I'm talking about now.
That's true.
Guys in MMA back then were looked at. Real boxers looked at those guys when they stood up and they laughed at them. Not to be mean, but they laughed at the skill set. Even the best back then, Chuck Liddell would have got cleaned up by amateurs in boxing back then.
In boxing.
Amateurs.
In boxing.
That's what I'm saying. And this is a boxing match.
Yeah, but this isn't Chuck Liddell.
This is somebody who's...
This isn't Chuck Liddell, and this isn't 1997. Evander Holyfield,
which makes it worse.
Evander Holyfield is 58 years old and hasn't boxed in forever.
You don't know that. Like I said, this dude, Evander Holyfield at one time was a world champ. He's still in shape. The dude isn't fat. He's still in great shape.
Just because you're not fat.
No, so that means So I guarantee you, the type of shape he's in is from. I guarantee you that guy is still sparring. He's still.
I don't think so.
Going rounds, and not only is he going rounds, there is nothing like boxing cardio. Like to be honest, I think the pressure that Evander Holyfield at 58, because we're acting like Vitor is young. He's not young.
He's like 44.
That's not a big difference from 58.
What?
44 and 58 of 58.
What?
No, hear me out.
Bro,
a 58-year-old world heavyweight champion in boxing who defeated Mike Tyson is not that big of a difference from a guy who's 44 and has never fought a world champion in boxing in his life. He's never fought a guy who was a top prospect in boxing in his life.
Crazy.
I think you're gonna be very surprised at the skill difference.
I think you're gonna be surprised.
No, because I've seen what Evander Holyfield did in his career, and Vitor Belfort has never fought a striker like Evander Holyfield, a world champion. He's never fought it. Dude, there's amateurs that will knock Vitor Belfort. I'm sorry, in boxing. That will knock him out in the first round, and it won't even be fair.
Those guys, not amateurs, no.
There's amateurs that will knock him out.
There's not 60-year-olds that will knock him out.
I guarantee you. Bernard Hopkins won the world middleweight championship in boxing at the age of 54 or 50. No, he was in his 50s. Is he 51?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure ain't he in his 50s now?
No, he won it in his 50s.
I thought he won it in his 40s, but I'm pretty sure his last
fight. Or he
fight,
defended it in his. He won it in his 50 because he fought.
He got knocked out of the ring in the last fight that I saw him.
Okay, but that guy he fought was that dude's. I knew that dude was a beast. A lot of people didn't know. Joe Smith. Knew Joe Smith.
Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Look, I was about to say,
at the time he was 30-0, bro. He was. A lot of people just didn't know it. See, that's the problem with boxing because a lot of guys avoid a lot of guys. You don't really know these guys. I was like, man, you don't want to take that fight. But man, dude, that got me hyped right now. I'll put money on that.
I'm not gonna bet you.
I don't think.
But I'll put a.
As far as like the skill level, it's like riding a bike to boxers. When that dude throws a punch, he's gonna laugh. Like he's seen it so many times from guys who are quicker, faster, sharper, and not only that, you can have every athletic advantage you want. You don't take away the type of knowledge that guy has him. He's gonna know exactly where to step, the angle to take, the pressure to put, when to back off, the distance to take that Vitor has never seen before. And not only that, it's the pressure. This guy's gonna stay in his face because Evander Holyfield is a very aggressive boxer, and I think
you do realize that a lot of the stuff that you just said was used to say that Tyron was going to beat Jake Paul.
Tyron's never been a world heavyweight champion.
But I'm saying.
Well, that was a dumb. If people use that was stupid.
People have used that same.
That's stupid.
All those same things to discredit the other guy.
No, there's no comparison when the guy has the accolades that Evander Holyfield has.
It's not gonna be.
You gotta put some respect on Holyfield's name, man. You have to, bro.
I do, but I just don't think he wins this fight.
Vitor Belfort at no point in his career could have been a world champion in boxing, or else he would have did it.
No.
He would have did it. He would have.
Only time will tell.
None of those guys are beating Mike Tyson.
We're gonna see, bro. We're gonna see.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be very
I
surprised.
think you're gonna be very surprised.
A real boxer. That's like saying when Floyd Mayweather fights these guys, he's playing around with them. Like these guys just don't understand, dude. Okay, so you think Floyd Mayweather is that much better than Evander Holyfield?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think Floyd Mayweather.
You do know Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson, right?
Yes, I do.
In his prime. A lot of people don't know that. Mike, okay, he had just came out of prison, but Mike, that was the big dude. When Mike Tyson stepped in that cage, Mike Tyson was scary. He was huge. Not only him, dude, Evander Holyfield beat the top guys, and he was a small heavyweight. He was only like 220 pounds.
Which benefited him. You're saying that like it discredited.
That does. Name another heavyweight champion in history that was under 230, 40 pounds.
Mike Tyson.
Besides Mike Tyson. That's what I was just about to say. Besides Mike Tyson. The rest of them, the standard is 6'4", 6'5", 230. That's the standard. These two guys were anomalies and not whatever the thing is in boxing.
Whatever the thing is.
They were, and their skill level is what they didn't have. Mike Tyson had the power. Evander Holyfield didn't have power like Tyson. He had the skill level. Evander Holyfield had the hard work, the determination. Evander Holyfield's pressure. Evander Holyfield was never, in my opinion, and the old head's gonna kill me. He never had the skills to be better than some of those guys. Like when he fought James Toney, I thought James Toney was a better fighter. James Toney is one of my favorite fighters. I never thought he had the skill level to beat James Toney, but he had the work ethic, the in your face, the grind it out to beat those top guys. So he's gonna have that coming in. Not only that coming in Vitor Belfort, because to still be in shape at 58 is a mindset thing.
Bro, you don't
it's a
know
mindset
that he's
thing.
in shape.
He has. I've seen him recently. Have you seen the videos?
Just because you see somebody in a 30-second clip does not mean they're.
I'm sorry. It does when you're a former world heavyweight champion. I take you for your word at that point. Any other guy I see in shape that's never been a world champion, I'm like, okay, yeah, he got in shape. Well, but Evander Holyfield, a guy like when I see a guy like that get in shape, there's certain guys when you see them doing certain stuff, I put a different respect on their name.
At a certain age, it's just not possible to be.
And who was Vitor Belfort without extra? Yeah, like
that's
let's
what I'm
be real.
Saying. That's what I'm saying.
He was never like.
We're not talking about respect. We're not talking about non-TRT Tour. We're talking about TRT Tour.
Dude, there's not.
That's different.
There's not, dude. Them dudes could be on whatever they want. I'm telling you, it's different when you get in there with a boxer. And I'm an MMA guy. I mean, I love boxing too. Boxing was the first thing I always watched. I never boxed like that, actually trained like that, but because there's no boxing gyms where I'm from. But I love boxing. But when UFC came around, I became an MMA guy because I feel that's true fighting. In a true fight, it's a whole different story. I'm on Vitor Belfort's side all day long. It's a whole different story. If he wants to stand up with Holyfield, that's a different story. But in a true fight, it's a different story. If you're talking about in a boxing ring with boxing gloves on, with boxing rules, with a world heavyweight champion, dude, it's just, I don't care how old he is. It's just a difference. It's just a difference. I really feel like it's just a difference, man.
We gonna see.
Because because I'm trying to bring up others. I'm not trying to drag this topic on. Like I know we need to move on, but I was trying to bring up like other examples of guys like there's guys who are like in their 60s, let's say in a different sport like soccer or something like that. Like there's guys in their 30s who have never played soccer. If they just played football, they would never get that ball from the guy who's 60 years old. You're never gonna do it because it's just.
This is not, bro. You cannot compare combat.
Boxing is worse. And that's what I'm saying. Boxing is worse.
No,
it's worse.
I don't think so.
All right, we'll see. Keep that same energy next week.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
What else we got on the docket?
Speaking of the celebrity boxing, Floyd Money Mayweather versus George Rush St. Pierre is booked for November 6th, I believe.
November 6th, sounds right.
So we're gonna see how that one plays out. Who do you think wins that?
Again,
it's an exhibition though.
I think Floyd.
You think Floyd drags it on,
Floyd drags it on and keeps it close. There's a theme, if y'all haven't noticed, seeing Floyd Mayweather fight guys who aren't boxers. He keeps it close for a reason, for the money,
For sure. That's what it is. It's
and for a
entertaining.
guy to be able to manipulate another guy to keep the rounds close, to let that guy get a certain amount of hits and then not a certain amount, it's just a different level of fighting. Boxing. It's a different level of boxing. And George St. Pierre, as much as I love him, he has no chance in this fight. He just doesn't. In my opinion, George, as we know, he has a great jab.
You sound like a boxing fan.
Yeah, I am when it's boxing rules. I am. That's like if LeBron James went and swam against Michael Phelps, he doesn't have a chance. So of course it's different. It's different sports, man, and that's what people gotta understand. It's like what I hear most people say. It's a different language. You know, it's French and Spanish, and he has no chance. He has a great jab in the MMA. I don't think he's had a guy slip his jab the way that Floyd is gonna sit there and slip his jab and parry or Philly shell with the shoulder and just watch it go over his head every single time. I don't think he's ever seen that before as much as he's gonna see that in this fight. And he's going to find out that the sweet science, man, a guy will be right in front of you, but he's not in front of you.
Yeah, Floyd's different. So I agree with you on this one.
Floyd's different, but Evander Holyfield is not.
Floyd's different.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm going to agree with you on this one.
Dude, Evander Holyfield fought better competition than Floyd did.
Floyd's a different monster. I'm going to agree with
Floyd
you.
is my favorite fighter, but...
My favorite fighter.
Yeah, you got to put some respect. Okay, top 10 boxers of all time. Evander Holyfield isn't top 10.
I'm not a boxing fan, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't even have a top 10 boxing. But Floyd Mayweather is one of my favorite boxers of all time. Well, actually, my favorite boxer of all time. So that's just, I just agree with you on that one.
Shout out to Grand Rapids, Michigan, man. Floyd Mayweather, James Toney. Yeah. So, speaking of, the cross sport fights, this isn't really it wasn't really a cross sport fight, but Tyron Woodley, man. We're hearing more about these damn tattoos.
Man.
Rematches, rematch clause. Oh, I heard this in the ring.
Tyron, get it together, man. You making my boy sad.
Yeah, man. Tyron, it's hard to even watch Tyron now because it just seems desperate. I know I would seem just as desperate if I got $2 million as well. The money talks, man, and you got to do what you got to do for your family. I get it. Would I get that tattoo?
Now it's for him. He left his family.
Yeah, he still got kids and shit. So I understand that you gotta do what you gotta do. And dude, $2 million is, man.
That alimony.
Would you get the Jake Paul tattoo?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have even shook on it.
I would get the tattoo.
I wouldn't have even shook on it.
$2 million, and then I get a rematch if I get the damn tattoo. I've got stupider tattoos.
I think. No, you don't. I think that if Tyron got that tattoo, it would just make it worse because Jake Paul would troll him so bad.
Who cares?
Tyron does.
No,
the only person that matters in this situation.
No,
Tyron
what
cares.
You do is
he cares. That's why he keeps getting on Instagram
Live. You get the
Live.
tattoo. You get because he wants the rematch.
And Jake Paul isn't giving it to him.
Jake Paul came out and said that he's
worse.
done fighting MMA fighters right now, which is a great move. Yeah, that's a great move.
That's a
great move. Build the what is it called? The curiosity back up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good to do. Keep guys wanting to fight you because the more you don't box, the more guys are gonna come out and want to box you.
Didn't you say something about him talking in talks with boxing an NFL guy?
Yeah, Juju Schumacher. I think that's how you say his last name. I was hearing rumors. I had seen that online. I'm not sure how confirmed that is.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. I'm cool with celebrities fighting each other, man. I was a big fan.
I like it too, actually.
Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah, I used to love
that shit, Chris.
When they had
Celebrity
Stone Cold
Deathmatch.
on.
Yeah, I like that type of shit, and I think as much as people talk shit and swear they want to fight, I think that you should fight. I think what Triller is doing. I think you should have celebrities fight. I think this shit is hilarious. Supreme Patty's supposed to be fighting Bunk Gang.
I don't know who Supreme Patty is, but Bunk Gang, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think
Supreme Patty always wore the Supreme headband with all the pimples on his face.
I don't know who that is. I have no clue who that is. But who would you like to see as celebrities fight?
Celebrity fight. If I could have any celebrity fights, okay. Oh shit, this is a good one. Celebrities. Okay, wait. Give me a character like rappers or movie actors.
Anything.
No, that's too many. You got to give me something.
Perfect
give me something.
because you can pick whichever one.
Oh, that's too fucking hard.
All right, let's go with rappers. Since you're a music guy, let's go with rappers.
Rappers. Okay, who would I want to see fight as a rapper? Definitely, I want to see The Game and The Game versus 50 Cent.
Bro, that's mine too. I was thinking
Really?
the same fight. Because 50 can actually fight.
Yeah, and Game swears he can fight.
Yeah, you can't tell Game nothing. But, man, I think 50 will smoke him.
Game and 50
That's
Cent,
my same one. But then I was thinking Nicki Minaj and Biggie's old girl. What?
Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim,
no,
yeah.
Lil' Kim's too. No, she's too old. I love Lil'
but
Kim.
Alright.
But
I love
no,
Lil' Kim. I love Lil' Kim. Don't do that. That's
Evander
hilarious. Don't do that.
ain't too old, so why is she?
Evander's a world champion.
She a world champion in
Oh
music.
my gosh. No, dude. But
man,
That's funny.
Lil' Kim versus Nicki Minaj, or Nicki Minaj versus Remy Ma.
Oh, Remy would duck. Dude, what? Dude, Remy went to jail for 7 years for shooting somebody.
I thought she just didn't snitch.
No, she shot somebody and then didn't snitch. She shot them.
All right.
Yeah, nah, don't play with Remy, man. Remy ain't
Just because she shot somebody don't mean she can fight, bro.
That's a mentality.
There's so many people in the world that have shot somebody or own a gun that cannot fight. There's a lot of y'all.
There are, but there's not a lot of. I just think Remy's different.
Right.
Just the way she care. A lot of them dudes be. One, they be dudes, not girls. Girls be more solid than dudes, for real.
That's true.
Girls be way more solid than these dudes. But
I like that celebrity death, that little celebrity.
Yeah,
death
dude, I miss that shit.
And I do wish more celebrities would get.
Oh,
go
ahead.
My boy C Mac.
Yeah.
He's supposed to fight Bosco 100.
Yeah, I want to.
Who you think will win?
C Mac. I see C Mac in a street fight. C Mac's a big boy, man. C Mac's like 6'4", 300.
And I seen Wack 100 fighting somebody.
Wack can fight.
Wack cannot fight.
Wack can fight.
Wack cannot
Compared
fight.
to these other motherfuckers, Wack knocks people out. I've seen 2 videos where Wack has knocked people out.
See, Wack is willing to fight. That does not mean he can. He does this.
You're looking at him as a professional. He's not a professional fighter.
Get down.
So what do you think these other dudes he fight are gonna look like?
Bro, better than that?
No. Hell no.
Man.
Hell no. I've seen videos of Wack knocking. I seen Wack fight 2 dudes at one time and knock one out. That is hard to do. Yeah, that is hard to do.
Bro.
He knocked out Stitches. I seen him knock him out cold.
Yeah, he knocked Stitches.
Dude, Wack is kind of corny to me.
He can't fight.
You don't want to do Wack. I'm telling you, Wack don't throw them things.
You think you could beat up Wack 100?
I'll fuck Wack up.
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't sit there.
I
wouldn't know, but see, that's the difference because, okay, one, of course, every dude's gonna say I got an ego, but at the same time, I train in jiu-jitsu. At the same, so I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna throw hands with Wack the whole time. If I can get Wack to
beat him with only hands, if y'all was to box, do you think you can beat him?
Maybe I would go into the fight. I would go into the fight. I would go into the fight thinking that I can beat him, but if he knocks me out, I'm be like, okay, this dude fight. He has way more. Okay, Wack has been fighting his whole life. I haven't been fighting. Like I have fights here and there. Yeah, so I'm saying, and it would be a street fight. Are you talking about or in a boxing? A boxing match? Oh, that's different. Like
boxing.
But I ain't boxed that much. I'm not trying to. I'm just talking about like in a regular street fight. If we can do anything, I think I can win.
Listen, this man's scared to eat his words. He would piece Wack up.
No, I'm not trying. I'm trying to be logical. I'm trying to give him
calling
respect.
you out, man. He calling you out.
It's the money right out.
It's the little bitty boy calling you out.
I elbow drop Wack. But no, if the money right, I'll fight. I don't care about fighting anybody.
No, I
but
get that.
In a boxing match, yeah, but I'm putting respect on Wack's name. I've seen videos of him knocking people out. There's no videos online. There's no videos online of me knocking anybody out. So I gotta put some respect on his name, man. I'm logical about fighting, man. I ain't got no ego when it comes to
you gotta.
You know, when guys do the whole thing, who you know. Yeah. Let's be real. You know, I'm gonna always go with the guy who's trained more and who I've seen fight more than the guy who can talk good. I've seen plenty of guys that can talk good that ain't never threw hands a day in their life or never been to the ground and felt what it's like to have a guy mount you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So. But okay, one more celebrity. I like this. Okay, one more. So another celebrity that I definitely want to see fight is Chris Brown. We said the number one reason because he can dance, and people who can dance are different type.
They
of people.
can fight. Like it's weird how it works out.
And he a fake hood nigga.
Yeah.
Like fake hood. Like the dudes who gotta prove themselves like all the time. They can fight. And
but Chris Brown can do everything. Like this dude is literally good at like everything.
You know who I want to see him fight? DC Young Fly. DC can fight. See, you think? See, there you go. See, there you go.
Now.
DC.
When have you seen him fight?
On stage, he knocked the dude out that tried to run up on stage. He knocked him out this year.
Oh, man,
he knocked him out on stage.
That's
and DC,
crazy.
how he got all them scars and stuff is from he got into a big fight. Like DC said, he's known for fighting.
Of them funny dudes.
And he can dance. DC can dance. DC is funny. DC can roller skate. That nigga, he one of them dudes. He can sing. He's one of them dudes that can do everything.
Who you got in that fight?
I don't. Okay.
I got Chris.
I got Chris because I think Chris is bigger. But I think that they're kind of this, like, dude, DC is very talented. Like, he can kind of, so I can see DC with, like, a quick left hook. Like, I've seen them tall, lanky dudes like that that can throw them crazy punches. Like,
right, yeah.
So, I don't know. I got to see the weight because I think Chris is might be way too big for DC.
Right.
So, I got to kind of see the weight. So, I'm trying to see who's in, like, Chris's weight.
All I know is my boy Joe Rogan said if he can do a backflip, just bet on him. So, I got C Breezy.
DC, I guarantee DC can do a backflip.
Well, yeah, he is black.
Yeah, I guarantee DC can do a backflip.
Most of us can do it.
DC is very.
You might be the only black dude in the world that can't do a backflip.
Nah, it's and the only reason I can't do it is because I used to be able to do backflips. I landed on my neck.
The only reason I couldn't do it because I used to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I landed on my. No, I used to be able to flip.
No,
I think every black player has been able to do. We used to literally. We used to go out at recess and flip, do all type of flips and stuff. Like you learn the way I learned. Like most of us learn is like on a hill. I learned how to do a backflip on a hill first.
That's exactly.
Then you learn how to flip. I was never. I can't dance. Shit. I was never the flipper dancer. I'm very stiff. You know. What I'm saying? I am.
That's why you should have been a wrestler, man.
Yeah.
We all stiff. All the wrestlers are stiff.
I'm stiff as a fucking board.
Wrestler.
But so that's why I said like as far as like boxing matches. I want to see Chris Brown in there. Dude, I want to see DJ Academics box so bad.
Oh,
I don't know who DJ Academics, who's he talk shit? Well, he wants to fight Meek Mill. Him and Meek Mill don't like each other.
Yeah.
I would love to see. See, that's why they really need to do this. Like
it's
some
funny, though,
billionaire needs to put money up for these motherfuckers to
it's
fight.
It's funny though because I don't think Meek Mill can fight. He's uncoordinated as hell.
You think DJ? Wait.
I think
you think DJ Academics can fight better than me?
I think he can beat him.
Hell no.
I think
Are you
DJ
serious?
Academics will beat him, bro. I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think DJ Academics will beat him.
You know the funny thing? The type of dude Meek is, and shout out to Meek because I like Meek. But the funny thing is, I think Meek the type of dude to come in here really nervous. But I think Meek gonna be way more nervous than DJ Academics. But I think Meek gonna beat his ass. But I think getting into the fight, I think Meek in his head gonna be like, man, I hope this dude ain't like got no strong ass punch or nothing. Like, you know? Like I think he gonna be one of them dudes that's kind of nervous. But man, come on, man. Meek is from North Philly, bro. I seen Meek with dusty ass braids rapping in the street at 16, like.
And you know
he gotta be able to fight a little.
You know what I forgot?
Who?
Meek Mill can do a front flip.
Oh my god, that garbage ass front flip. I can do a better front flip than that. But yeah, it's a bunch of these rap dudes that man, they talk like they can fight. I would love to see like a boxing match like.
And Soulja Boy been calling out Aaron Carter. And he called out somebody. Oh, Kanye. He called out Kanye West.
The funny thing, I think Soulja Boy can fight.
I do too.
I think Soulja Boy can fight.
I used to.
He wouldn't be his he calls everybody.
Did I tell you I used to live downstairs from Soulja Boy?
Yeah.
So yeah. That's weird. But he where I'm from out there and where I'm not from that place that we lived at with like where he was at, but in LA, a lot of them dudes can fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was awkward and kind of clumsy.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, man! I think I want to see him get in there with somebody though. Like he need to just stop. He need to stop just talking.
It's a lot of dudes, man. I wouldn't mind seeing them box.
He plays his
I like this thing.
well.
I hope it doesn't go away. I hope somebody invests a lot of money into getting these celebrities to fight.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be some big reality checks.
Yeah, that's another one that I was thinking about. This is not a boxing thing, but a while ago, LeBron James said that he could beat up Colby Covington. What do you think about that?
Different languages, man. I'm sorry, LeBron. You 6 foot, 8 foot, 18, 12, 30. I get it, man. You're 260 pounds or 80, whatever you are. You're tatted up. You're black. You're fast.
Athletic, whatever the case is.
That don't mean shit.
It really don't. Kobe will beat the brakes off that boy.
It don't. And don't think that Kobe just has to take you to the ground like, oh, if he don't grab me. No. Kobe will stand in front of you and piece you the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bit like, when people say, now, do I think that, like, if LeBron trained as long as Kobe, I would take LeBron all day.
Right.
But if you haven't been in there and trained, most of these guys, like, you look at these guys like, oh my, I don't even know if LeBron can take a punch to the face.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people don't understand is that, like, there are guys who like, oh, he could be the biggest, scariest dude in the world, and he's never been punched in the face. You don't even know how he's gonna react.
Yep.
But there is one guy that's in the NBA that he's a black belt, and he was an MMA. He's 7-0 in MMA, but he stopped MMA fighting.
What?
And I forgot his fucking name. Oh, this is gonna kill me because I actually like him. He's like 6'8", and his dad is actually a black. He's like I think he's a black belt in karate, like a 3rd degree black belt in karate. But his dad is a really high black belt in karate, and he took 7 MMA fights and went 7-0. He's like 6'10", 6'9", 6'10". Yeah, just type in MMA NBA player. His name starts with a J. I want to say something.
James Johnson.
Yeah, James Johnson.
And he looked like he's from the hood.
James Johnson.
Like
James Johnson. Dude, there was one time him and Serge Ibaka. You should look this video up. Like when we get out of here. Serge Ibaka is a 7-foot center, right? And he's from Africa. Scary, big ass dude. He stepped to James Johnson's face, and the look on James Johnson's face, like, bro, you don't get the fuck away from me.
I think I seen that.
Yeah, and
I think I seen
fear.
that.
And Serge Ibaka, when he seen him do bullshit, wasn't no fake pushing, that look, like there's just a difference. He looked at him like, you don't want to do this. Like, and that's when you should be scared.
When you know.
It's not the guy. It's not the guy who's it's the dude who's begging you not to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, like, so these guys gotta understand, man. I understand we all got pride and ego, but you know, if you want to keep that pride and ego, man, go train to fight, and you can keep. But you know, there's just guys out here that can literally make you their bitch, and you just gotta live with it. The same way you can dunk a ball the way we'll never be able to. There's guys that can just fuck you up.
Yep.
And a lot of men don't know this.
Yep.
You know, they don't know the reality.
Yeah,
of this.
some people have to have that rude awakening, man.
So, well, yeah, this was a really good episode, man. I think this was episode 5.
No, that's like 7, ain't it?
No, 6. It's 6 at the most.
Bro, I think it's 7.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But
a lot of times I'm wrong about that, but
I'm sure I'll be wrong too. But I think this is a really good pod. This is pretty fun.
That one
man.
was fun. I like talking about this whole celebrity thing.
Yeah. So we'll come back next week and we'll recap some of these fights and we'll have that for you. This is the From a Fan's Perspective podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your boy JB.
And your boy Mr.
My boy Chris behind the camera, and we're out.